Hello everyone, welcome back to the WASD Benchmark YouTube channel. You are with me for the second time in the new studio, so I will take the opportunity to ask you how you like our new studio. I will give you a little teaser with some shots of the space we are in. Let's go back to the Caraxes keyboard from Redragon, which has 20% larger keycaps than the standard ones. They have advantages and disadvantages, but stay tuned. I'll divide everything into sections for you to navigate more easily. I decided not to drown you in irrelevant things, and let's get right to the point. In the box in which the Caraxes keyboard is packed, there is of course a generic manual next to the keyboard. I have personally checked all the functionalities and everything is as it is written. It has happened in the past with some other brands that the shortcuts do not match at all with the ones in the booklet. So from that moment, I decided to always try everything. In the package, you get an angled USB-C to USB-C cable with an adapter to USB Type-A. So they have made more versatile connections. If you believe what is written on the box, it would be from the accompanying equipment. And I really don't know how such mistakes can be slipped in so easily. Because in addition to these things in the box, there are stickers, a tool for removing keycaps, and a switch, all in one piece of tool, and this little box with 4 replacement red Utamu switches. The first thing you notice when you pick up the keyboard is that the build quality has really improved over the last few years. Although the keyboard is made entirely of plastic, it is rigid, resistant to any unnatural forces it may be subjected to. It does not bend or twist. It is really a very good quality plastic. On the back, for all the tilt lovers, myself included, there are rubberized risers in both the active and passive positions, so that the keyboard stays in place when in use, but still has that little bit of movement so that it can be moved around more easily. If you've noticed the rectangle on the back, it's there for a reason. There is a wireless version of this keyboard that is a bit more expensive, but what does the rectangle have to do with another keyboard? The case is generic, cheaper to produce, and in the case of the wireless version, the switch for changing the connection is placed there. The only thing you notice about this minimalist keyboard is the USB-C port on the left side and the huge caps in a very nice color scheme, where light and dark gray dominate with orange space and escape keys that give this keyboard a special charm. With the layout, I come to the first illogicality. I can't say the flaws because I'm not sure how to set myself up. Caraxes is a keyboard with 60% keys in the dimensions of 65% keyboards, which is logical because the caps are 20% larger than normal. Don't be confused if someone describes this keyboard as a 60% keyboard and someone else as a 65% keyboard, because the manufacturer isn't sure. The website says one thing and the box says another. As for the keycaps, you may notice that they are a bit larger, which is why this keyboard is intended for people with hands that are much larger than the average person. Whether this is a gimmick or not is up to you. I didn't mind this design too much. It takes a few hours to get used to the extra distance from the center to the center of the keys. At first it was a bit tiring. I was slow. I didn't feel like my finger was on the same key, but once your hand gets used to it, this is a really good piece of keyboard to use. The ABS caps are way above average if you ask me. I can say that they are one of the best, if not the best, that I have had the opportunity to try. Very comfortable and have a fine texture that almost resembles PBT. But don't be fooled, they are still ABS. The printing on the light gray caps is illegible without lighting, and not only that, but the keyboard looks like the letters are worn out. When you turn on the LEDs, the keyboard is a paradise for the eyes. The RGB is so well done. The caps are made in a double injection process with that shadow or opacity, a word well known to all of you who use Photoshop. I don't know how to tell you, but the impression is very good. Under the hood, there are Hotswap switches. For those of you who don't know, these are switches that have a socket and are not directly soldered to the board, so you can remove them with the tool that comes in the package and replace them with another. The advantage over soldering is that you can easily replace all the switches and have a completely different keyboard, or if one of them breaks, just replace the switch in a few steps and the keyboard is fully functional again. And for this purpose, Redragon has packed these 4 replacement switches. A very positive thing I see for the first time with the Redragon Hotswap sockets is that they are universal and fit almost any Switch, while until now you had to buy the exact switches made by Redragon. As for the manufacturer, it is not exactly stated who is the signatory of the Switch, but I guess that Redragon continues the successful cooperation with the Aotamu factory. Caraxes only come with red linear switches, so if you are a fan of something else, you will have to look for something else or buy your favorite switches in addition to this keyboard and replace them completely. The second and last drawback is the size of the caps. There are almost no replacements available, and since the distance from the center to the center of the Switch is increased due to slightly larger caps, normal caps will look very strange on this keyboard with larger margins. As for the general impression, the keyboard is great. I miss the wireless connection because it would increase the versatility of the keyboard. We could attach it to any device and easily pack it in a bag. 60% plus wireless with good autonomy. Perfect. Other things about this keyboard are okay. I didn't notice any delay. The latency is within normal limits. The keyboard is very comfortable to type, to use, and of course to play games, which is the main purpose of the Caraxes keyboard. Along with the keyboard, you also have software that you don't need if you ask me. You can adjust everything on the fly, all functions are yours. The N key rollover works without error, and the shortcuts as shortcuts are very logical and accessible on this keyboard. I just wish we had a complete exchange between dual functions. I really wouldn't change anything with this keyboard except that they agree on whether it is 60 or 65%. And of course, to print on the package, everything that is in the keyboard itself, and maybe I would add some blank replacement caps in case something happens to these, because it is not very easy to find such caps individually, or even in a package. The price of the Caraxes keyboard is around $50, which is not too much for me, but not exactly a best buy. Somehow it seems to me that the price keyboard is in the middle of the scale. If you want Pro Special Edition with wireless, I inspire you to spend $10 more and get it. Thank you once again for watching, your time and support. Do not forget to follow us on other social networks where we regularly make short news from the world of technology. And I would like to hear your opinion. How do you like our new studio? And I'm glad that this keyboard is among the first products to be tested in the new workshop. See you soon.